Hey, this is David. In this video, we're tackling a common issue with your Samsung electric range, diagnosing a failed cooling fan. If you've noticed your oven isn't cooling as efficiently as it should, you've come to the right place. Today we'll be inspecting the cooling fan motor, control board, and oven temperature sensor. This is definitely a repair you can tackle yourself with a bit of guidance, and I'm here to help you through it. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more do-it-yourself appliance repair tips. Let's get started and get your range back to optimal condition. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. First, we're going to get our tools together. We'll need a multimeter, a blanket or pad, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a flathead screwdriver. Also, please remember that safety comes first. Make sure to unplug your range or turn off the breaker to prevent any power from running to the appliance while you're working on it. Now with our tools ready and safety taken care of, let's move on to diagnosing the cooling fan issue. Let's go over the cooling fan and what role it plays in the range operation. Its main purpose is to circulate warm air away from the electronics. When the oven is turned on, the oven sensor monitors the temperature rise in the oven. When it gets above 200 degrees, the fan is activated to start circulating air. It stays on the entire time the oven is heating. Once the oven is turned off, the fan stays on until the temperature drops to under 200 degrees. That is why you hear it running after you turn everything off. During self-clean, the temperature in the oven gets extremely high. Without the cooling fan running, the oven would overheat and open the high-limit thermostat, shut off the heating elements, and would not heat again unless the high-limit thermostat was replaced. On top of that, it would probably cook the electronics, no pun intended. That is why you should never turn the power off during a clean cycle. The oven is very hot, and with no power, the fan stops running, and that is never a good thing. If the motor will not come on, we need to check to make sure it's getting voltage from the control board. You will need to pull the range out and remove the Phillips head screws from the back. At the top, you will see the cooling fan, which is just under the glass top. On the left side of the motor is a connector. Unplug it. For this test, the range needs to be plugged in and powered on. Please be very careful to protect yourself from electric shock, which has a potential to cause serious injury. Don't ever test for voltage if you're uncomfortable using a multimeter. Using your multimeter set to AC voltage, put one probe in one side of the plug and the other probe in the other plug, and start the oven in a bake cycle. At some point, as it heats up, you should see 120 volts AC coming from the control. If the voltage is there and the motor will not run, the motor is defective and will need to be replaced. If the voltage is not there, you have either a broken wire or a defective control board. The control board should be sending 120 volts AC to the motor whenever the oven sensor senses a temperature of about 200 degrees. If the voltage is not at the cooling fan motor and the wiring is good, the board is defective. If there is an oven sensor problem, it will be throwing error codes and you will be having oven heating problems way before you notice the fan is not running or even never shutting off. The probe connector is over on the right side. To test the probe to see if it is reading the temperature correctly, we can test it at room temperature, which is around 72 degrees Fahrenheit. It should be approximately 1080 ohms, plus or minus 10%. As it gets hotter, the resistance number will also get higher. Disconnect the connector and using your multimeter set for ohms, check the probe side of the connector. It should read 1080 ohms. If it does, then we can move on to another test. If it is out of range, it needs to be replaced. Once we check the fan motor, control board, and temperature sensor, we found the fan motor was defective and needs to be replaced. Stick with me and I will show you how that's done. Before we start moving or taking anything apart, we need to make sure the range is unplugged or the breaker is turned off. We also need to remove the 3 screws that hold the metal strip on. At the top of each corner is a screw that holds the cooktop on, and we need to take out both screws. Let's open the oven door and remove the 4 screws that hold the console in place. Now lift the bottom of the console out and remove it. After we do that, we can close the oven door and let it rest on the door. You'll need to put a towel or pad under it to protect it from getting scratched. At each corner, just like in the back, there are 2 screws that hold the top in place, and we need to remove both of them. Then we can unplug the 2 wire connectors and lift the top off and lay it flat with the glass part down on a moving blanket or a couple of towels. You will see the fan motor in the back center sitting on the oven. Next, remove the screws holding the fan motor bracket. To replace the fan motor, remove the screws that hold it to the bracket. Here's the old motor and here's the new one. If you've already got one, great. If not, you can pick one up at AppliancePartsPros.com. Reinstall the new motor to the fan bracket. Mount the fan to the top of the oven and secure it using the screws. Plug the wire connector back in, and we're ready to put the cooktop back on the range. After getting the cooktop back into position, install the 4 screws at each corner. Then plug the 2 connectors back in. We're also going to put the console back into position and install the 4 screws. We're almost done. Let's go to the back of the range, then put the back panel on and put the trim piece back into position with the 3 screws. Plug the range in or turn the breaker on. Put the oven into a bake cycle. In a few minutes, the fan should come on. Once you've pinpointed the issue with your Samsung Electric Range's cooling fan, remember to jot down your model number and visit AppliancePartsPros.com to order the necessary replacement part, which typically arrives within just a couple of days. Our comprehensive video guides will assist you in seamlessly installing your new part once it arrives. We'd love to hear about your repair journey. Feel free to share your experiences in the comments below. Your feedback not only helps us improve, but also assists fellow do-it-yourselfers in their own repair endeavors. Thank you for watching and happy repairing.